Market update here on the 30th. So down 1.3%, but the question is this move a impulsive move down, or are we just getting kind of a corrective move down here? I think it looks currently more corrective to me. And if we zoom in here, you can see, does that look impulsive? Doesn't look impulsive to me. So based on that, and not going into too much detail on smaller time frames, I think that it really just depends on how far it wants to pull back. But if this is corrective, then I would lean towards something like this. So we'll see on that. But the last 4-hour demand zone here at 399.62 to 394-ish, something like that. I would expect maybe something in that area before we go up higher. But again, this move's so choppy that I'm just, we're all just guessing on where this is going to pull back to. We have some support here. We have a demand zone there. So we'll see what happens on SPY. But again, we're just waiting until Wednesday to see what the Fed has to say as well. So we'll see how far this chop goes. Maybe this is just an A wave right here, and we're looking for a pullback and then get a C wave down to this demand zone right here, potentially all the way down here to 395. So that's SPY 1.3% down. Again, the overall chart pattern that I think is most likely is this move right here, basically A, B, C like that, or we're looking at it as W, X, Y, and that would require A, B, C like that. So just watch SPY over the next couple of days. We'll see what happens. Until then, it's just chop, chop, and chop. I pretty much just been selling puts on SPY and a few other names, and that's pretty much all I did today. I didn't trade at all. So that's SPY. Tesla with a nice pullback here. I think that we're getting close to a fourth wave finishing. If we draw some parallel lines here, you'll see we're very close to getting outside of them. And we're close to the 0.23 fib for a pullback. We zoom in here a little bit. I see this as A, B, and looking for a C wave down here. Probably looking at something maybe in the low 160s. From back in November, we have a bottom right here at 166.15. If we break that, then I'm looking for it to come all the way down to this area right here, around 157 to 160, and which it would still be a valid fourth wave. This is just a 0.38 fib, and we got a shallow second wave, and so for that reason, we could have a pretty sharp fourth wave, as they usually inverse each other. So I'm looking for a pullback. I'm going to look to buy some shares potentially, or only sell some puts. Sold some puts already today, down a little bit on them, but I sold them for March at like 140, I think, to be safe. But yeah, pretty much just waiting for this to finish out. Everyone's going to get impatient with their calls and maybe their puts too, even though it's down 6% today, so that's a pretty good pullback. But I'm expecting another move higher, and if we go higher, we're looking for 200 potentially. So Microsoft now, pretty much have it drawn up how I think it's going to play out. We have another WXY move. So we have A, B, C, A, B, C. And I'm looking at this as A, B, and a C wave down here. This right here is probably going to go higher at this point. Just like SPY, I think. It's very choppy right now, but we'll see if it ends up going like Is it going to come down here though? It could come down here, I guess. A, B, C down here, and we end up getting an expanded flat, and then we go up, actually go higher up here for the C wave. So that's possible. The whole thing would look like A, B, and then a C wave up here to, I think, like 276 would be the 1.23 fib. So is it going to be that, or are we just going to get a normal or an ABC move like this, in which that would make the whole thing again WXY. So W, X, and Y like that. And then we sell off after that. So Microsoft, just kind of watching, same as SPY. Apple here, have this one drawn out as well. What I expect to happen over the next probably like 8 months. I think we are completed or have completed the A wave here. I'm looking for a B wave pullback. I'm looking for probably come down here to like the low 130s, and then I'm looking for something around 155 to 160, and then that would complete the overall B wave, and we get a 5-wave move down here to complete the overall C wave, in which the 1.61 fib of the W wave is where we can't go past for it to be valid. That's sitting here at 95.37. So I think Apple's still got a long way to go before it bottoms. I think we got another basically 33%. And we'll see how long this melt up takes, though. It could take all the way into May-ish if they draw this out long enough. So I don't think it's a good idea to be getting too big into puts on a lot of names right now, because you could be wasting your premium pretty big time if you do that. So let's go over the dollar. Haven't looked at it today, but and dollar is actually up today. But again, we're still just waiting to see what happens to the dollar. It's just pretty corrective move here. Again, you can use this and you can see pretty much comes outside there. So it's a pretty corrective move, but that doesn't mean we don't know what it's going to do from here. We could get a big bounce in the dollar all the way back up here to the top, and that's when we sell off and then come back down here and have a normal flat. Or we could get a zigzag and just bounce up here and then come back down even farther. So I was looking at the monthly chart the other day, and I think that the more I look at it and the more I think about slope, originally I thought it was being a 5-wave move. I think this is more of an ABC pattern, and I think that it is potentially finished, but it could also be, this also could be a B wave right here. So we got to watch out for that, because this whole move would end up being A, B, C, A, B, C, B wave, and then we would get a pullback B, C wave higher. And if it only goes to 101 and the bottom here was at 89, we could be looking at something up in the 120s to top out. So we'll have to watch the dollar again, but I don't think this is a 5-wave move anymore. Unfortunately, it was working out perfectly for a while there, and then this 4th wave came down way too far. So that's pretty much it for now. Just not really that much to say, even though we're down 1.24%. It looks like a corrective move here. Until we get an impulsive move down, it's probably going to be pretty corrective. And again, I think we're going to go to 430 to 440 before we top out on this move. Pretty much either way. So even if we go down to 370, I would just think of that as ABC, and this is the whole A wave, B wave, and we're going to get a C wave higher. Or are we going to melt up from here and barely sell off? So we'll see. I think this makes more sense, though, to sell off just based on every other chart. Apple needs to sell off. Tesla, though, is ready to go higher, maybe, so that doesn't make as much sense. Microsoft, it could sell off down here. to 210 and then go all the way back up here to 270. So that makes a lot of sense for the scenario of SPY coming down here to 370 first. And so we're just watching to see what happens over after FOMC. And that's pretty much it. I'll do an update tomorrow. If there's any big moves in the market, I'll do it during the day. But probably the during the day market updates are going to be after FOMC when we start getting some volatility back in the market. And I guess real quick we can check out the VIX. The VIX is probably up a little bit, but again, 5-day option expiry has absolutely slaughtered it. I wouldn't even be surprised if it's down. Okay, it's up 7%. Still nothing to really look at that much until we actually get a huge move. And so, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Pretty much those are the scenarios I see. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe for more updates. And yeah, just tell me what you think is going to happen. Are we going to go down to 370 or are we just going to keep on melting up to 430? Could go either way. I don't really have a bias either way, but let me know in the comments what you think. All right, have a good day.